So this video might get flagged because we're talking about something you're not really supposed to think too hard about: the future of politics. Thanks for clicking. You're one of the few who still care. Every 4 years, most of us press a button or bubble in a circle and then hope it mattered. But statistically, fewer Americans are doing even that. Voting turnout has been shrinking or stagnating, and it's not apathy, it's distrust. A 2023 Pew survey showed only 20% of Americans trust the federal government to do what's right. 20%. That's cult numbers. What happens when regular disillusionment snowballs into chronic disengagement? We're already watching democracy stretch at the seams: gerrymandered districts, misinformation-spiked news cycles, and algorithms designed to feed outrage, not truth. The machine is making noise, and no one's sure who's still driving. The decay isn't fast, but it's constant, and that's worse. It's procedural. It's familiar. And by 2050, if nothing intervenes, America's core political identity may look less like freedom and more like a performance, backed by a decaying script everyone stopped believing in. Except the show must go on. Imagine voting with your face or voice. Or maybe you don't vote at all, but your data does it for you. It sounds like sci-fi, but Estonia's e-voting system is already live. China runs predictive behaviour monitoring, and US tech firms are testing AI to map political leanings. By 2050, it's not wild to imagine a deeply digitised democracy where an AI agent knows your preferences and casts a proxy ballot. On paper, it sounds efficient. No waiting in line, no campaign fatigue, just seamless data-backed representative participation. The upside: pure democratic reach. Every voice counts, no matter how chaotic the world gets. The pitfalls? Deciding who builds the AI and what data it's allowed to use. Already, companies scrape everything from your Netflix queue to your grocery deliveries to guess your beliefs. Now imagine that data choosing your senator. If the tech isn't neutral, and let's be honest, it's not, then the vote you made might not have ever really been yours. Let's talk about money. Senator Sanders once put it plainly: Citizens United opened the floodgates. And now, political action committees and dark money groups are evolving faster than campaign laws can keep up. Fast forward to 2050, where corporations may not just influence candidates, they are the candidates. With personhood for corporations already a legal precedent, analysts believe we'll see a scenario where brand-backed governance becomes normalised. Picture this: Senator Amazon, Governor Lockheed, sponsored politicians with literal brand loyalty. It sounds dystopian, but multinational lobbying has ballooned beyond traditional structure. Companies now fund data science teams to psychologically profile voters. They shape emotional narratives, not policies. If brand trust overrides civic trust, people may rally around a company more than a constitution. And once corporations have political infrastructure, does a real person even stand a chance? Here's where things get weird. Let's say AI runs for president, or more realistically, an AI becomes the top advisor making 90% of executive decisions. But the human on stage takes credit. University projects like Delphi and IBM's Watson are already building ethical engines to predict morality at the state level. That's real research. Some futurists suggest that by 2050, the cabinet might literally include non-human intelligence. No emotions, no scandals, just efficiency. But what happens when code controls nukes? When the virtual accountability is written in a language only 5 people on Earth understand? We've seen algorithmic biases in everything from parole decisions to facial recognition. Now imagine glitchy behaviour embedded in a policy engine, and no public override. Machines don't lie, but they also don't explain themselves. If politics becomes a machine's game, who resets it when it goes off script? If your vote no longer feels like a choice, and maybe isn't even made by you anymore, what does that do to your identity? Behavioural psychologists warn about political learned helplessness, a state where individuals believe they can no longer influence outcomes, so they dissociate entirely. This psychological checkpoint could turn millions into passive entities in a functioning system. And that looks an awful lot like manufactured consent. If tech tracks your every move, guesses your stances, and automates your participation, the illusion of power remains, but the muscle behind it fades. In a world of algorithm-led elections, the role of a citizen might become digital residue, a feel-good interface where input is optional, but the outcome was always decided, and over time we may not even notice something is missing, because our political reflection still smiles back, even if it's no longer us. So, maybe the robots won't take your job. Maybe they'll take your vote. Either way, something's coming. Like if this twisted view of the future made you think, or at least fidget. Subscribe for a new mystery each weeknight. And thanks for being part of this strange little corner of the internet. That was your dose of the unknown. See you in the next file. Subscribe for more of the unknown.